Good evening, friends. I hope you like books. I hope you like Zelda books. Because today is my very first video with my new Yeti microphone. And I thought today would be a good day to break in this beautiful book. So we are going to have a little fun today looking into Zelda Art and Artifacts, published by Dark Horse. So, to break in a hardcover book, you want to press gently down on the spine on both sides. And then you just want to take a few pages at a time and lightly press them. Very simple. Not too much pressure, not too little. We're not trying to put creases in these pages. We're just trying to help them lay flat. Look at that gorgeous picture. Master Sword. Isn't that something? A little bit of Breath of the Wild there. And we're going to go over this later. Right now we're just breaking it in. We just want this thing to lay flat. We don't want any creases. We don't want the book to be stiff. A stiff book, you might have some breakage in the binding. So we're just trying to loosen this thing up a little bit. Just 4 or 5 pages at a time. You can hear a tiny bit of crackling as it resists this process, but that's okay. This isn't any sort of special tool. It's just your standard issue sort of tongue depressor. You can get it at a craft store in a big box or a bag for like $2 for 100 of them. One issue I have with this book, it's not really an issue I have with the book, it's that I haven't played a decent number of Zelda games, actually. I have played the first one. I've played Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I've played Link's Awakening, A Link to the Past. I've played Ocarina of Time. A little bit of Majora's Mask, but I still need to get a little farther into that one. I've played Minish Cap, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild, although I have not played the Breath of the Wild DLC. That means that I have not played either of the Oracle games. I haven't played Phantom Hourglass. I have not played Spirit Tracks. I have not played Skyward Sword, which is what we're looking at now. And I have not played the ill-fated Philips CDI trio of terrible games. I guess Nintendo would rather forget about those. Oh, and I haven't played Four Swords Adventure either. Or Link Between Worlds. So I guess you could say I've probably played about 2/3 of the Zelda games out there. Which is about as much as a person could hope for unless they're a true fanatic. I don't know if the Tingle games count as Zelda games. Like the Rupee Collector or whatever it's called. I haven't played this guy, Link's Crossbow Training, whatever that is. I have not played Hyrule Warriors. So I haven't played any of these little spin-off games at all. I'm sure I'm not too... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not suffering too much for that loss. I'm not sure that's a correct idiom that I'm looking for, but whatever, we'll go with it. I'm not worse off for it. That's what I meant to say. Look at those gorgeous drawings. Wow, those are just beautiful, aren't they? Aren't those gorgeous? Look at that contrasted with these slightly less impressive Twilight Princess ones. Let's just take a quick second to appreciate this hand-drawn ink art. I guess they're both done in ink. This one looks digital. I don't know. Does not have the same charm. Call me old-fashioned, I guess. Yikes. Twilight Princess did not have the best NPC designs, I will give you that. I bought this book months ago, and I haven't even looked through it yet because I wanted this fantastic microphone before I even started this process. I didn't want to read it until I broke it in, and I didn't want to break it in until I could do it the right way. Yeah, big old Link. He's big. Now this is the second book in the trio of Dark Horse Zelda tomes. Big, chunky hardcover tomes. The first one being Hyrule Historia. The second being the Zelda Encyclopedia, which we will break in and discuss at a later date. This is kind of lazy, isn't it? Look how lazy it is. It's just, it's lazy. Alright, back to this. I'll save the commenting for after the breaking in. I'm gonna flip through this thing a page at a time. Really get into it. It's been a while since I played some of these, so I wouldn't be surprised if I get some of the facts wrong, but you guys will bear with me, right? I want to thank the guy that sold me this microphone today. He sold it to me at a really good price. I'm not going to give out his name because that's douchey, but microphone seller guy, he did me a solid. Almost there. Plucky little Oracle's Link. He looks like a Capcom Link. He got that chunky Mega Man design. Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Look at that, nice and flat, just like we wanted. Let's give that a press real quick. Yeah, there we go. Looks good. Ooh, ooh. Almost bent that beautiful page. That would have been a tragedy. Okay. I'm gonna pause for a second, and I'll start reading this guy. Alright, let's get into the meat of this thing. First of all, let's look at that really cool glossy cover. Well, the whole cover is matte, but this part's glossy. This sort of metallic finish here on this. What game is that from? guess it's the Hyrule Royal Crest. Continuing on. Danger. Death Mountain, by the way. Little smoke rings are on the top. What's this little village? I don't know. So we open up with the Hylian Shield from Ocarina of Time. Other than that, just a nice solid black background. And a bit of sword-shaped flourish here. Got some credits. Translators. Contents. Masterpiece Gallery. This is my favorite part of the book. This is the best. So this, you may know, is all from the very first Zelda. This is from the instruction manual. And I have the original instruction manual for this game. It is one of the only pieces that I still have left over from when we sold our Nintendo when I was a kid. It's one thing that I cherished and I just had to keep. I love these manga style illustrations. They're so beautiful and they're so evocative of a world that is not expressed graphically in the game. You know, you don't just turn on an 8-bit system and expect to see a literal translation of these ideas. So they did the best they could to enrich in it with this these just gorgeous drawings. I'm not sure what medium this is, but it looks like an animation cell, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like an animation cell on a painted background? It made you want to see the non-existent cartoon that this went along with. And this is, I guess, just supposed to be sort of a representation of the way that the in-game world looked. You know, these kind of cross bits here and like little caves hidden out. A little fairy spring. The entrance to a dungeon. I mean, just God, look at the lighting on this. Look at that beautiful lighting. Look at these action lines here on these bats. Getting hit with a boomerang. This huge centipede. I think that's a Moldorm. I believe that's supposed to be Moldorm, who's represented by like 4 orange balls in the game. I mean, this gave you a real sense of the world. And it's a bit threadbare too. Just a big rock or I guess a piece of ruined wall. Some sand. A bit of lighting. And just this big Moldorm just staring you down. Gorgeous. Look at the orange light on this. There's sort of a sunset look to a lot of this stuff. Maybe to sort of give a sense of time running out. What's he looking for in this statue? I don't know. And this little dark nut coming down the corridor. Like he's trying to get away as fast as possible. Is that supposed to be Ganon? I don't know. Maybe it's a Wizrobe. Who knows? I think it's supposed to be Ganon, but you know, you see Ganon depicted as this sort of menacing shadow. You don't really know what he's getting away from. Just he has to get the heck out of there. He has to scoot it. And these are the last 2 images in the instruction manual. Can you defeat Ganon? You didn't know what he looked like. You just get this muscular leg, which is not an accurate representation of what Ganon looks like. Ganon's like a turquoise pig. I don't know what they were going for with this really muscular calf, but I like it. I don't know what this illustration's from. I think it may have been from... I don't know, was it from Nintendo Power? Is it ad copy? You know, there's Princess Zelda in her original design with this pink poofy sleeve dress, a little bit of ruffles, you know, some pleats. And I guess that's not a tiara, but you got this mummy just coming out of the ground. Like, it's not a hole, he's just emerging out of the literal ground itself. Link isn't given a shadow. They almost kind of look like they were just pasted into the last minute on this nice background. This dark nut is not quite on model with this one here. But it's still almost as good as the rest of it. And it's still a beautiful picture. get into Zelda 2. Just as beautifully drawn. Zelda 2 got a really bad rap. I'm sorry, it just got a bad rap. It was such an interesting game. Look at this nice big schnoz. Isn't that great? What a beautiful nose. Look at how pissed off he is. He's determined. He's determined. He's gonna fight Aghanim. There's Aghanim. Is it Aghanim? I can't remember the exact story. I think Aghanim is linked to the past. But there's this evil wizard who puts Zelda to sleep and yada yada. Anyway. Oh, look at that. I can't remember this enemy's name. It's not Iron Knuckle. It might be Iron Knuckle. Is it? I don't know. Just look at this giant head just frying him. It's fantastic. There's that Master Sword we saw earlier from Link to the Past. Look at that light coming in. Look at that beautiful lighting. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. Look at all these intricately drawn leaves. Oh my goodness. Just the richness of detail poured into these. This fantastic canvas drawing. You really get a sense that this could have been a mural on some ruined, buried castle somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe a piece of an ancient tapestry. This almost feels a little bit, it's a little new wavy looking, right? Or new agey, I guess. There's a real new age feeling to this. Just these sort of vaporware colors, this bright orange Triforce bursting out, the lens flare. Here's him saving one of the sages, I guess, from one of the crystals. Ooh, just jacking up that selfies. Good stuff, good stuff. Where am I? Am I lost? I don't know where I'm going. I hope this map and this compass leads me in the right direction. This solid beam of light. It's a bit weirdly drawn. Anyway. Oh, look at these great looking cutscene style drawings. Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake. Oh, I see. There's a difference between Link to the Past and the Four Swords. So they went with a slightly more modern look on this, but I kind of prefer... I like Schnoz Link. Look at that schnoz. What a great schnoz. I guess this looks nicer, but I'm not having as much fun looking at that as I am at this. I really prefer these old ones. I know that's just a nostalgia idiot in me being wistful. Look at him breathing out that exhaustion. Here he's just chilling in the sun. I don't know. This Link's more troubled. This one's almost identical, but come on. Look at that beautiful lens flare. Look at that little bit of a dry brush here. This guy's made of mud. This guy's made of real dirt. This guy's just honey. Who knows what this is? Molasses. That's a chunky, crusty guy right there. Getting into Link's Awakening. Little watercolor of Koholint. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that gorgeous Koholint watercolor. Absolutely breathtaking. Here's Marin finding Link washed up on the beach. The egg in the background, the windfish's egg. Good old Marin and Terran. These two would set the stage later on for all the different various iterations, Malon and Talon, etc. You got the owl. That owl becomes a fixture in later games, specifically in Ocarina. Oh, look how much fun they're having. They're having so much fun there. This is an example. So this is the DX drawing that came out in a short enough time that the style wasn't so drastically changed. The ink is a little heavier on this one. Ooh. Here's such a big change in style. Look at that huge shift between This sort of carefree, colorful stuff. And the very serious mid-90s look here. You know, Ocarina is not screwing around. Nice sketch there that will later be translated into this piece of official artwork. You can see all this rough stuff is a lot of fun to look at. Oh, and let me say, I love Ocarina era Impa. I love big, tough, heavy women. That's why I like Momo from Breath of Fire 3, Sailor Jupiter. You know, I like the heavies. I like the tough girls. Oh, look at that. Look at that big, beautiful painting. That Lizalfo's reaching in, gonna nab him. There's Sheikah helping out. Kind of doing this thing. I don't know what that's all about. Link and Sheikah back to back. Spoiler alert, it's Zelda. This picture, I always feel like he's gonna just crack that sword right in half. Oh, Zelda, don't be too concerned. Link's just looking off dumbfounded. I'm having fun. Zelda's like, ah, geez, I got a whole kingdom on my shoulders. What am I gonna do? Sorry, Zelda. You get a whole series named after you. We all gotta watch this little guy putz around instead. What are you gonna do? Oh, look at that beautiful hatching on that sketch of the Deku tree there. Gorgeous cross hatching. Really turned into this nice chunky like oil painting here. That's a bit out under the collar. Again, I'm looking all tough as butt. Oh, I love Goma. Goma's so great. Goma's such a great design. The first time you see Goma in Ocarina of Time, what a great fight. Big old beefy Ganon. Oh, what a beautiful spread. Oh, I guess that's Lon Lon Ranch. That's what we saw on the cover. It's Lon Lon. Look at him just busting out on an opponent. What a great freeing experience that was. What a precursor to the freeing experience that Breath of the Wild was too. My goodness. Majora's Mask. I haven't had much time in Majora's Mask. I know a little bit of spoiler stuff. I've seen the last boss battle. You know, I've seen the various costume designs when he changes masks. This game is a real butt kicker, though. I don't know if I have time for it. I'd love to. Oh, look at this great... Look at the colors on this. Look how different from Ocarina. Ocarina's got a lot of earth tones, a lot of light blues. This is all about high saturation, purple, blue, red. Real on the ends of the color spectrum, you know, not as earthy, more psychedelic. As a deity mask, whatever it's called. That little final version of Majora in the background. Man, what a great drawing.